It's been a while. It's been actually a really long time, I believe, since I last reviewed a TV show that I'm aware of. Wait, I reviewed Futurama. Yeah, I forgot about that. But it's still been a while since I've reviewed a TV show. In fact, this is going to be the first TV show that I'm going to be reviewing that's Nickelodeon. Yes, Nickelodeon. Now, technically, I have reviewed a TV show before. I have reviewed, I reviewed an episode of Camp Coral, the first episode. But I have actually not reviewed I have not reviewed, reviewed an entire TV show. The reason why that is because I was waiting to improve my, channel a bit before I started reviewing this. Because back when I first started reviewing stuff, I was showing off the screens. So I wanted to improve by learning how to edit my videos and get better at it. So now that I am better at this, we're going to be talking about a show called Danny Phantom. Yes, Danny Phantom. I figured because it's Halloween and it'll match, the Halloween month, October, because it's October, of course. So I'm going to be reviewing Danny Phantom. And next week, I got another TV show I'm going to be reviewing. So I got another TV show I'm going to be reviewing next week. So yeah, anywho, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. So, Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom is a early 2000s show. You know, back when Nickelodeon was still very good at a lot of great cartoons and stuff back in those days. Some were hits or misses, but a lot of them were pretty good, actually. A lot of them were really good. Nickelodeon, I think, has gotten a little bit better now, but they're still not nearly as good as they were back in the early 2000s. Well, not even the 90s too, but the early 2000s is where a lot of great shows, like My Life as a Teenage Robot came out, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and even Danny Phantom were all shows that came out in the early 2000s. So how is Danny Phantom? Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. So yes, Danny Phantom is definitely an early 2000s show. It came out in 2004 and it ended in 2007. So Danny Phantom came out a while back, actually, a really long time ago. So let's see if this show still holds up pretty well. And I gotta say too, I actually own this show on DVD. I bought the complete series, so I own it on DVD. Yeah, I own it on DVD, so I actually bought it at Walmart. Yeah, Walmart, you can actually buy a lot of Nickelodeon shows at Walmart. Surprisingly, Nickelodeon is like the only channel you can buy a complete series of, really, at Walmart. There's some, like, from other channels, too, like Fox had the 70s show and all that. Well, it's called That 70s Show, but I call it the 70s Show. I think it's a lot better to say, but they have, like, I think they've had the Big Bang Theory too, but a lot of the shows are from Nickelodeon that are at Walmart and stuff. So Walmart has a lot of the complete series of other shows. They even released Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, which was a show I just talked about that came out also in the early 2000s. They released it a couple months ago. I don't know if it came out before that or not, but I bought this series last year. Anywho, let's go ahead and talk about Danny Phantom, though. So how is this show Danny Phantom? Well, first let's talk about what it's about. What is Danny Phantom about? Well, it's about a superhero who accidentally gets ghost powers and becomes, a ghost. Well, he's an average boy before from school, but he gets ghost powers, and he spends the show learning how to control his powers. So learning how to control and get better. So as the show goes on, he gets stronger and stronger. Yeah, he gets stronger and stronger. So, he gets stronger, and he starts gaining new abilities as the series goes on. So it's clearly interesting, actually. It's pretty interesting how that is. But he gains new abilities like the ghostly whale and ice powers. So yeah, there's that, and there's also a lot of great villains in this show too. Like Skulker. Skulker is probably one of the best villains in the show. He also is the one that appears a lot too throughout the show. Skulker is a pretty great villain. I like Skulker. I think he's pretty good. Skulker is actually one of the characters to actually have voice changes throughout the show. But him, Valerie, and Danielle, which I'll talk about Danielle and Valerie later, all three have had different voice actors play the characters throughout the show when it was airing still. So that's something too. But there's also other villains too. There's Vlad Plasmius. He's a villain. There's also villains. There's also villains like the Lunch Lady, which she only appears like a couple of times throughout the show. She actually only had one episode dedicated to her, and that was in season 1. That was the first episode. But after that, she kind of got pushed to the side a bit. But we also have some other ghosts too. Like there's the plant ghost. I don't remember what his name is. I think his name is Root something. It's Root something, I think. But he appears in season 3 and all that. So there's clearly a lot of villains throughout the show. There's even some human ones too. There's the guys in white, which remind me a lot. They honestly remind me a lot of the guys in white remind me a lot of Mr. Black and Mr. White from Johnny Test. Now, I don't know if this show did this first or not. There could even be other shows that have done this before, where they have a black guy and a white guy wearing sunglasses with suits on that are both, agents and stuff. Because I know, the Fairly Odd Parents did this too, and in season 6, the Wishology trilogy, they did this too. So clearly, these shows have done all that, but I don't know which one's done it first. There could even be shows that have done this before in earlier cartoons. But there's also another human villain in the show. The human villain is his name is I forgot his name. I don't remember his name. He's the one who was at Circus Gothica or something like that. I forgot his name. I don't remember his name very well. Sorry if I don't remember his name. It's been a little bit since I've seen the show, but there's a lot of great characters and stuff that are villains on this show. There's even Technus. Technus also appears a lot too. But I could go on and on if I reviewed. I would go on, and this video would be a really long video if I were to name all the characters off. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with that. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically though, there's a lot of villains. There's also characters too. There's also characters. I forgot to actually show this off. I won't be showing this off this time around, but don't worry, I will be talking about the TV show again down the road. I'll be talking about it down the road, so I can show this off down the road. There's actually a teacher in this show, Mr. Lancer. He looks a lot like my teacher from middle school. I'll show you guys a picture of him later. I will. But yeah, I will show off a picture of him later. But for now, I'm not gonna be showing him off right now because I don't know where the picture's at and all that, and yeah, so I won't be showing him off now. So I actually got a picture of him on my 3DS too, but I don't know. I'd have to probably show that off by editing it or something. I'm not really sure. So unfortunately, I won't be able to show that off. But don't worry, I will be talking about the show down the road. I'll be reviewing certain episodes. But yeah, Mr. Lancerd is one of the. I don't like Mr. Lancerd as much. I think Mr. Lancerd is just a butt of the jokes most of the time. He's not really an interesting character. I don't really care about Mr. Lancerd that much. I do feel bad occasionally when he gets picked on by other people, but I don't really care about him either. I feel like he's just an average character. Also, what's weird about this show too is there's only only one teacher and two teachers in the school that I'm aware of. Like literally, there's hardly any teachers in this show in the school, which is odd. I think the Fairly OddParents may be like that too, I'm not sure. But the Fairly OddParents at least has a principal. There's literally no principal. There's literally no principals in this show. Yeah, there's no principals though, so it's just like this Mr. Lancer and this other teacher who is a coach, I guess. So they literally have hardly any teachers, which is odd because this show takes place mostly at school. There are occasionally times where they're not at school at all, but most of the time they're at school. So you think there would be more teachers, but there might be others too. I can't remember, honestly. I really can't remember, but just like the Fairly OddParents and Johnny Tester's also a bully too, but unlike them, like Francis and Bumper, Danny's bully, Dash he looks like a normal person, so he looks like a normal person. Doesn't look ugly at all. He looks pretty handsome actually. The other two are just ugly looking. They're not like hideous looking, but they're not like I don't feel like a lot of people would fall in love with them or something, Not saying I would fall in love with them. I wouldn't fall in love with Dash or anything like that. I mean, I'm not really, I said honest, I wouldn't even fall in love with Sam or anything. I'll talk about Sam here in a second too. I will talk about Sam. But yeah, basically though, there is like the side characters and stuff, and most of them are pretty good. Most of them are actually good. I do like most of them. Besides Mr. Lancer, I think a lot of them are pretty good. I like Dash. I think he's funny. Yeah, he's a bully, but I like when the show messes with him and makes him a muted ghost. I think that's really good. I really like that. They actually do that quite a few times throughout the show. They'll have a ghost possess him or something, or he'll become possessed and he'll turn into a giant muted monster. That's really funny. So yeah, there's a lot of great characters throughout this show. And I'm gonna talk about Valerie real quick. Valerie is actually an interesting character throughout the show. She was just in the background, but as the time went on, they started making her more of a character. So she became obsessed with hunting ghosts. But she became obsessed with Ghost and started hunting Danny down, which creates a lot of great moments in the show. It really does, and I like that. Now, sadly, by season three, they kind of dropped her a bit. They dropped a lot of characters in season 3. A lot of people say season 3 was where the show kind of was at its worst. I think season 3, though, was still pretty good, in my opinion. There's still a lot of great episodes. Oh, yeah, it was Undergrove I was thinking of, too, was the plant guy I mentioned earlier. Now, the root guy, his name was actually Undergrove. Yeah, there was an episode with him in it, which it was pretty good. There was also an episode where the box ghost becomes because the box ghost uses a joke. I didn't mention him, but he's used as a joke. And they actually make an episode dedicated to him, where he's actually a threat. So that was pretty nice. So there's clearly a lot of great episodes in season 3. There really is. That you can tell it's definitely down. I will agree, it is a lower it's lower than on season 2 when it comes to quality, because a lot of the main characters were pushed aside and focused more on just Danny, Sam, and Tucker, and Vlad, less than the other villains and characters we met throughout the show. So yeah, it's kind of sad that happened. It's really sad that, but I still think I still disagree with people. I think season 3 is still pretty good. I don't hate it like other people, but I don't think it's as good as season 2. Season 2 is definitely where the show got better. Danny learned how to control his powers, and he learned to control his powers, and I don't think he struggled as much as season 2, but he learned to control his powers better, and he even gained new abilities, like the ghostly whale and stuff. There was also a lot of great episodes like Dark Danny, which it was called the Ultimate Enemy, where Dark Danny appears and stuff. The Ultimate Enemy. There was also a special where the Ghost King appeared, and a lot of that. So there's a lot of that stuff, a lot, which is pretty good. There was a lot of great episodes. Also, Danielle appeared in season 2 too. What's funny about her is she appeared in like 2 episodes, and they were both from one episode from the finale that they appeared in. Because she appeared like twice. She also appeared, I guess, she had a cameo in the final episode, but she was only in the background. She was actually underneath Danny at the very end when they were making the Earth intangible, so you could see her right underneath Danny. But still, she was a pretty interesting character too. She was an interesting character and all that. She's basically a clone of Danny, so I don't know if you'd call her transgender or not. I don't think she's really transgender, but she's actually her own character. She's not just a clone of Danny. She's actually her own character. She basically she has similar interest in Danny, but they made her actual own character, which I like. So yeah, there's that. And now we gotta talk about Sam and Tucker themselves, because these are the guys you will be seeing throughout the entire show. Well, except one episode. One episode they don't appear in, neither are they mentioned. That's the first episode where Vlad is introduced. For some reason, they're not in the episode at all, and they're not even mentioned. And that was the first episode I ever seen of Danny Phantom on a DVD. It was on the Nick Picks, back when Nickelodeon did this, where they did this Nick Picks thing. I kind of wish they would do more of that again. That was fun. But they used to do this thing called Nitpicks, where they would take a lot of episodes from other shows, like, and pick one from each one of them, and they would combine them all in one DVD, which was cool. And I don't remember what I think it's Nitpicks 1, I think it is, but it has like SpongeBob SpongeBob and it's got SpongeBob as a caveman, because SpongeBob BC episode back in season 3. It's got actually back then I think there was only 3 seasons, so I don't think there was a lot of seasons at all. There was also an episode where the Jamie Power Hour, the first one, there was that one. There was also another one where My Life as a Teenage Robot, had My Life as a Teenage Robot, where they had Ginny become this ugly beast, And then all in those episodes, there was one there which was Danny Phantom, where it was the episode where they meet Vlad Masters, which is the first episode he appears in, and apparently he's Vlad Plasmius. But yeah, that was the episode I was introduced to with Danny Phantom. I didn't see the show until years later. And so far, I thought the episode was pretty good. I don't think it was really great or anything, but, it was great, but it wasn't, up there with the other episodes. But basically, though, that was what I was introduced to. So I didn't even know Sam and Tucker even existed. So I didn't know they existed at all. So until I watched the show itself years later. So that was pretty interesting, actually. But Sam and Tucker themselves, I like Tucker. Tucker's pretty funny. He's got his goofy moments, and I do like how he's a techno geek. I think that makes it original for him, because a lot of shows, copy things, but I think Tucker being a techno geek makes it feel more original. And not copying and not our personality. There's geeks out there, but that one's different though. But then there's Sam Manson. Now Sam Manson is I gotta say, I don't really like Sam that much. I don't really care about her too much. I think she's okay. She's got her moments, I think, where she's pretty good. But what I really hate about this show is they try to hook her and Danny up together as a couple, and it doesn't work very well because we, the audience, see Sam, get Danny in trouble a lot. She gets Danny in trouble a lot. She's always being a snob and rubbing crap in Danny's face and all that. So clearly, I don't feel like they're meant to be a couple. Even in season 3, she's the exact same way. She's freaking a freaking snob to Danny and Tucker, and she's basically a bitch. She's freaking frames people. There's even an episode where they go inside a video game and she freaking rubs it in their faces. Yeah, they were being kind of snobs a little bit too, but they were basically saying they didn't think she liked video games. So what does she do? She goes inside this game and freaking rubs it in their face. But what's stupid is she acts like she's this freaking great person, when in reality she cheated and all that. So she's not really good at this game. She just cheated. So what was she proving there? And she's like this throughout the entire show. I hate her. I really do hate Sam. I don't like Sam that much. Like I said, she has her moments where she's okay, but I don't like how they freaking ship Danny and Sam together as a couple. I don't like that. I think it would have been better if they would have had Valerie and Danny meet a couple instead. That would have been better, but they did not do that. They decided to push Sam and Danny together. So it's kind of frustrating having to see that. And also this show also has, where like the main characters get their minds blanked and stuff throughout the entire show. Something a trope I hated on the Fairly Odd Parents. That was because the Fairly Odd Parents, though, it went on for too long. I felt like by season 6, I think it was time for them to reveal their identity to Timmy's parents. So yeah, but Danny Phantom was different. It was only ran for a couple seasons, so it was different. But still, I think sometimes it felt a little bit forced too, and all that. It felt a little bit forced too. But yeah, it felt a little bit forced, and yeah, it just felt a little bit forced. Sorry, I had to turn up the volume a little bit for the music, because I'm gonna play music at the end of the video too. But yeah. Overall, yeah. Back to this. Yeah, overall, this show is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's as good as other people say. I think I do have my problems with it, but if you review the show altogether, yeah, it kind of ends with the show being pretty good, not great. I'm gonna go ahead and give this show 99 points. It was almost at 100, but like I said, with the whole show trying to convince us that Sam and Danny deserve to be together, doesn't work because Sam and Danny, well Sam's a freaking a snob to Danny and Tucker, and freaking always rubs her excess into their faces, and it's just frustrating. But otherwise, this show is pretty good. It's pretty good. I really like it. I like how they develop also Danny's sister Jazz into a character too. Yeah, she went from being annoyed by her family, and they finally gave her a character where she actually cared about her brother, and actually was trying to help him out. So I kind of like that. And yeah, he did get annoyed with her occasionally, but it was still, nice and all. And overall, this show is pretty good. If it ever returned, I would like for it to continue on, because I felt like season 3 kind of felt a little bit short. It felt rushed. It really did feel rushed. It felt rushed, but this show was pretty good though. It was pretty good though. That's basically it though. That's basically all I have to say about Danny Phantom. Definitely a really good show. Definitely a really good show. I definitely would recommend anyone to check this out. It's a really good show. Yes, it has its problems with Sam and Danny being a thing and all that, but overall this show is pretty good. It's got a lot of great characters, and it's sure some of them are a bit mediocre, like Mr. Lancer and the teacher, but I think they work out too, because they're goofy and stuff, and it makes it work out pretty good. Overall, this show is pretty good. It's a pretty good show, and I don't have much else to really say. I'm gonna probably go ahead and end up letting this go though. I'll be letting this go, and see you guys next week for the people who want to watch reviews. I will have a TV show next week for next week for Halloween too. So See you guys then. I'll talk to you guys later, alright? Bye bye.